Sard, an interesting game for you today. Hard fought, but then a last-minute winner from the much maligned Kai Havertz. Talk to me.
Firstly, I can't lie. I was shameless in my watch along when I was singing the song. I was shameless. I was dancing. I was screaming Kai Havertz's name. But I think with this win, yes, it's great that we ended up winning the game, and I think this is papering over a lot of cracks because we are still not creating enough chances to be able to win games comfortably. I don't feel like we created enough chances today. I don't feel like it was as fluid as we should have been. I actually wanted us to start this way. I wanted us to have Trossard in the midfield. That was my go-to starting 11, but it didn't go the way I thought it would have gone because I was kind of relaying it back to the Barcelona game where we played in preseason where we actually did have Trossard in the midfield. Now, yeah, like I said, not creating enough chances, not clinical enough. I think this was one of Martinelli's worst games I've ever seen him have. It was just he wasn't able to get anything on that left side. Same with Saka, wasn't able to get much on that right side. But yeah, again, Saka has a terrible game and then still manages to pull out a assist again. So it shows that even when Saka is having one of his worst games, he can still pull out that assist at the end of the day. And yeah, other than that, Ramsdale, I think he's done at the club. I genuinely think he's finished. There's no way back for this guy. I think he has no confidence. He lacks confidence. He just I feel like he's done. Maybe in the summer they're probably gonna get rid of him. I don't know, but I don't feel like Ramsdale can really put on the shirt again because I don't feel like he has the confidence within himself. Like I'm all up for giving him chances and that, but I just don't feel like he's confident enough because in that first half, I saw a player that was defeated. Every time he'd get the ball, he'd take too much time on it. He wouldn't. I expect us to pass the ball straight away. And yeah, it's great that we're top of the league. I'm happy that we're top of the league, but I feel like it's papering over a lot of cracks at the moment. And I think just overall, us passing the ball, I want us to pass the ball a bit quicker. I feel like we're way too slow on the ball. We're not because that if you look at the Liverpool game, that's how Liverpool beat Brentford so easily. They were passing the ball very quickly, passing the ball around them, not letting them get a chance to get back into shape. But listen, Brentford are a great team at holding their defensive shape. We know this. And I always said going into this game, I thought it was going to be a 1-0. I didn't think we were gonna smash them or anything. But yeah, overall happy with the Kai Havertz goal. He had to be there to score it. So
yeah, of course. And I hear you. I hear for that. We'll come on to Ramsdale a little bit later. We'll talk about the game first of all. Per se, Igal, Kai Havertz stepped up, grabs the winner, and at least for 7 days, he's probably going to have people off his back.
You know what, Terry? This was a game where we needed somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck and try to win it for us or try to get something done for us. And in the last couple minutes, probably people were starting to lose faith. But Mikel Arteta had faith in Kai Havertz to come on and be a difference maker. Where some people were probably looking at him when he came on and they'd be like, what is he going to do? What is he going to bring to the table? I didn't even know Bukayo Saka got the assist. I just remembered he's the one that played the ball to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz gets the header. And this was a game where we don't only credit Kai Havertz for the victory, we credit Zinchenko for the victory, for making that goal line clearance. We credit Declan Rice for the victory, for making that goal line clearance in the first two for the first two chances that they had. Because let's be honest, we were lucky that we were even 0-0. I don't know if my camera's slow or anything, but hopefully it's not. But I thought Brentford were the better side for majority of the game. They had the better opportunities. We made our own mistakes. We could have easily been 2-0 down before we scored that goal. But I'm very happy for Kai Havertz. I'm very happy for the boys. They pulled out the 1-0 victory. We needed this. Pressure was on us because City just dropped points. Liverpool dropped points. This was our opportunity to go top of the table. And I thought we were going to buckle, but we didn't. We got through it. And I need to see more from these guys. You can't give us these kind of heartaches. Come on. We need to see better performances offensively, but I'm not going to take away from the fact that I'm happy as a fan. I'm happy that we got through this game. I'm more excited to see what we can do going forward, but there's a lot of worrying signs even though we got the victory, there's a lot of worrying signs in why is it that we're not creating enough chances? Why is it that we're not doing enough in the final third? Why is it that we're having a 50-50 basketball game with Brentford? I thought even though they're playing a low block, we were able to break through it once, but it was ruled offside. We weren't able to do it again throughout the rest of the game. Luckily, we got that win. We got the winner at the end. But boy, I'm just more excited about the what?
There's a question on that.
Kai Havertz.
I get that. The 2 times you broke their defensive line open and put the ball in the back of the net was when it was a couple of touches around the edge of the box and you just got the ball in. Do you think sometimes it's a case of you're almost, and this was labeled at Wenger's Arsenal a lot, you're almost trying too hard to score the perfect goal when what might be easier is just get the ball down 1 touch, get it in the box. You know, the old-fashioned saying, get it in the mixer. We can see you, bro. It's all fun.
Yep. 100%, Terry. I feel like that whole issue with our attack this year has been we're trying to do too much sometimes. Just keep it simple. Go back to the basics. Take shots when need be. Take risks. Just get it in there. Because obviously, when the pressure's on and we need to create chances and we need to get a goal, we're able to create these chances. It's just earlier in the game we grow into the game too much and we don't have that level of intensity. And we were too slow today. I don't know about you guys, but that first half was just, we skated by. We were just trying to, we were just being lackluster. Honestly, Terry, I think the intensity increased when we needed to chase that goal. Last year, we had that intensity from minute 1. This year, we seem to only get that intensity at the end of games. And it might be by design, so we don't burn each other out, burn ourselves out. But I would love to see more intensity to start the game where we can maybe get onto teams and bury the game in the first couple of minutes like we did last year.
I hear you on that, and Souls. We'll talk about other points, but in terms of, we'll come back to that talking point a little bit later. I suppose I want to get everyone's take. Like, what was your thoughts on the overall performance today, and how happy are you with the 3 points and being back top of the league?
Hey, my guy comes through and scores. That's what I'm gonna say. Because Kai Havertz was a guy I got so criticized for backing and saying to people, if you actually watch the game, he's not been that bad. He's not been the problem for me. He's actually learning the role and he's actually progressively getting better. And now he obviously goes and wins the game. He becomes the hero for Arsenal, puts us on top of the league. And for me, this is going to be the great confidence boost that he needs to keep moving forward. But when you're looking at the overall game, for me, the lineup was wrong. Because when you look at Brentford and you look at the overall Premier League, they're showing us too much respect. So what do? You don't go put out players, too many technical ballers. You sometimes need height and the physicality. And that to me was lacking today. Trossard, yes, he's a technically good footballer. Jesus, another good technical footballer. But like you said, Terry, the 2 times we broke them down was when we whipped the ball in and we put a header on. Kai Havertz, for me, was the perfect opportunity to play him in this game because he likes getting at the end of things. That's what we needed to be doing more of. And I feel, for me, Arteta still hasn't grasped the concept that we're respected and that we are a threat to the Premier League in terms of wanting to go win it. And I don't think he's quite understood that teams aren't going to come out like last season. We beat Brentford 3-0 last season quite comfortably with a rotated 11 because they didn't respect us the same way they do now. Teams haven't been putting 9 men behind the ball up until this season. Well, actually, even later stages of last season. So he needs to understand that he needs to make these changes far quicker than he's doing. I actually said Havertz needed to come on. Someone like him needed to come on about 20 minutes before he did. And as soon as he comes on, the game changes. There's another threat. There's another outlet. Saka has the ability to make that cross. The problem is there's no one there to actually cross the ball to. So what are they going to do? Just whip it into empty space? Jesus was on the right, on the left, Trossard right, left, Martinelli right, left, Saka right, left. No one was in the center. And even when they were hesitant. They weren't willing to pull the trigger. And it's like we've somehow, instead of giving goal bonuses, it's like if you don't score, you get a bonus. The less shots you take, you get a bonus. It's like we've become counterproductive to our attacks. And that's the problem I've had all season. Not just, this game. And I've been calling it out all season. That yes, these 1-0s, 2-0s, last-minute winners, they're brilliant as a fan, but they're going to cost us soon. And we need to start clicking into gear and showing our performances. It's good enough like, okay, Bournemouth we beat 4-1, we beat PSV 4-0 or whatever it was. But these performances are far between. And it's, for me, not good enough yet. But like you said, Odegaard can get better. Saka can get better. Martinelli can get better. We've seen them do more. And also, January is a big opportunity for us to go and get a killer because we don't have one. We're too nice when it comes to the attack. We need someone who's just going to be, I don't give a shit. I'm scoring 6 goals against you today. And that's what we're missing. We need that player who's just hungry for goals.
I hear you on that. There's a super chat here that I want to bring up. I'm going to go to all of you on it, but I want to go to Nathan first. It says Arsenal's attack is not great. Do Arsenal fans feel confident with these types of wins? For Arsenal fans, is this play sustainable to win a title? What's your thoughts on that, Nath?
Yeah, the attack isn't great in a minute, and it kind of links in with the question you asked earlier to Igal about why we're not scoring, right? And I don't agree with Igal's answer in regards to we're trying to do the old Arsene Wenger thing. I think it's more related to how, one, we're too slow. I think there's been more of an emphasis on control. So I feel like players are taking less risks than they were last season. I think last season there was more freedom. They were kind of expressing themselves a lot more and able to just kind of float into different areas, where now they're very much kind of set on, we don't want to concede, we don't want to give away chances to the other team. And obviously that shows with our defensive record at the minute. And then the third thing is the midfield imbalance for me. I feel like you can see even from the starting lineup with Trossard now being moved into the 8 that we don't have really a solid foundation midfield, and we actually haven't really replaced Granit Xhaka or found the balance since that midfield of last season. And that what happens is we end up going into we struggle to pick up areas a lot more quicker, and when we are in them areas we struggle to create. And I think it's a problem that could be addressed in January, and it's something that hopefully for me I'd probably focus more on a midfielder than a striker, because if we're saying we don't even create that much and our players are struggling to create, even if we get a potent striker, I still feel we'll have the issues of controlling games and creating chances. So yeah, at the moment I think it's just about grinding until January and hopefully being within, still in that title race, and then strengthening that midfield and being able to kind of dictate and kind of dominate and create chances from there and find our attackers a lot more quicker. So that's just, yeah.
I hear that. Like, what's your thoughts on that, Jason? Where's your head at with this talking point?
I don't know. I think the attack is the issue this season. Like, I can't really see Saka this season. Martinelli's not on it. 1 goal in 14 games. It's just been a worry. And like, the amount of crosses that is in the box, no one's here. And Eddie and Kitty are coming on. It's just not it. To be honest, there's no balance. There's no chemistry there. I really, compared to last season, I feel like I think the new way of Arteta playing, I feel like the attackers are more restricted. I feel like they're more restricted in their game. That's all I feel, to be honest.
Well, that's essentially what Nathan is saying there, isn't he? That they're taking less risks. But just I mean, to compare it, I mean, I didn't look at this. You've scored 27 goals so far this season. Just going back to after 13 games last year. Sorry, the draw box is weird because the game was cancelled. You scored this is what I would say is interesting. So after 13 games last year, you'd only scored 4 more goals. So what I find interesting is 4 goals over 13 games. It's not a huge amount. It's not a colossal drop-off. And I do think, you've missed some chances and you've been unlucky with some goals as well. You've conceded 1 less goal as well. So defensively, you've got better. From an attacking point of view, yeah, you're 4 goals worse off than you were like at this stage last year, right? But then you look at Man City, they're 6 goals worse off than they were last year, and nobody's talking about their football. Like, I'm not saying there aren't elements to be concerned about. I'm not saying there aren't elements to focus on and say, well, that needs to be better, this needs to be better. But it's not as though you've gone from scoring 31 goals at this stage last year to being like where Man United are this season and being on 12, 13, 14 goals, and you're not. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong again, and I'm not emotional like you guys.
I really feel like the creative.
You know what it is, Terry? Sorry. You know what it is, Terry? I think the difference is that this season we've scored a lot of goals from penalties and set pieces, for instance. Whereas obviously last season we were creating a lot more from open play. So when we are struggling to score from set pieces or penalties, we don't create as much in open play. And I think that's where the criticism comes into play. So it's not about necessarily scoring goals overall. I think it's more creating and scoring chances from open play.
Yeah, but do you know what? I want to ask a question here. I've got a gal first on this. Last season, I remember a lot of people saying, wait until teams respect Arsenal and start sitting back. And it was used as a criticism. And it was used as a bit of a talk, like a stick to beat you over the head with. But more teams are sitting back. They know what you can do. It is harder to play it. I watched it every time Martinelli had the ball, he was doubled up upon. And look, he's a good player. Is he Messi and going to dribble past 2 or 3 players every time? No, he isn't. Again, I'm only looking at it from the outside in. I knew you were going to score today. I swear, I wish you guys were in this my studio with me. I'm sitting there going, they're going to win this game. I didn't even feel nervous for you. I just felt like it was coming and you were going to get that opportunity and that chance. But I do understand it. When it's your club, it's different.